So today we actually have a special guest. We got Dave. He let me know that he wanted to be on the show also. So I thought, what the heck? Why not? We've always said that if you guys want to show up, give us a little bit of notice and we can do something. So today we are doing La Aroma De Cuba, the Mi Amor. This is actually a really good cigar, nice and creamy. You don't need to put yours up on.
Yeah, it's a great box press Robusto size. Nice tight roll to it, but the draw is super easy.
This is actually put out by Ashton Cigars. This particular cigar has made it on Cigar Aficionado's top 25 twice. Once in 2016, they made it up to number 13. And when it first came out, the year after it came out, because the first year was 2011. The second year it came out, all of it was 2011. They made it to number 2 on the Cigar Aficionado.
It's a great smoke. I've always been a fan of La Aroma de Cuba. They came out originally back in the early 2000s. Always been a fan of it, and this is their creme de la creme, I guess you would say, of their portfolio. It's a great little box press cigar. It should last about an hour. It's got a nice slow burn, easy draw. We're pairing it with Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos Tequila, a lot of people associate it with George Clooney. Also, a lot of people are aware that they recently sold the company a couple of years back. But it's a great tequila. We're doing the Reposado, and we're drinking it chilled. Not chilled with ice, but we chilled it in the freezer for a little while before we poured it, so that way it has a nice little cool chill to it. And we're drinking it in these Riedel tequila flutes. And these flutes, as hoity-toity as it sounds, are made specifically for tequila. The diameter of the flute opening helps you place it on your palate in a way that is the most appealing to your palate. And so little things that they put into these glasses with Riedel that actually cater to the spirit that is in it. So these are a tequila flute, and we're doing a Reposado. And a lot of people see that and they think gold tequila. And there's a big difference between a gold tequila and a Reposado. When it says gold, that just means they add artificial color or artificial flavors to it to make it gold. So like a Jose Cuervo Gold is made to mimic an aged tequila in color, but it's artificially colored. A Reposado, by law, has to be aged in an oak barrel for a minimum of 2 months. Reposado means rested. Añejo, which is a little bit darker in color, is rested or aged in a barrel for a minimum of 12 months. Añejo means aged. A silver is no aging at all. There are some premium silvers like Padron Grand Platinum. They age it for just under 2 months, so it doesn't go into the Reposado category. And then you have Extra Añejo back in the mid 2017 around there, or 2007 around there. They actually created the category for Extra Añejo, which is a minimum of 36 months aging in a barrel. So the tequila could only be harvested in Jalisco, in the town of Tequila in Jalisco, and it's been kind of expanded to be able to create various flavor profiles by getting different type of soil content. And so the highlands, Los Altos, you'll get a little bit different content than in the valleys. And this is a pure 100% blue agave tequila. So tequila by category has to be 100% blue agave. It can't be any other breed of agave. To be called a mezcal, it can be any type of agave, and that's what a mezcal is. And those are usually smoked to get the flavor, to get the sugars out of there. Whereas these are extracted usually by steam or in hornitos, which is like a brick oven, or they're done with a tojona wheel, which is a big lava rock essentially that crushes the agave to get the juice out. And so different methods, different things. So there's a lot to be known. a lot, like I said, I geek out on tequila for sure.
Hey, there we go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I geek out on cigars.
Yeah,
that's great. You know a lot about that.
These La Aroma de Cubas are actually made by Ashton. I shouldn't say that. They are distributed by Ashton. Ashton doesn't actually make anything. Instead, It's actually rolled by Don Pepin. A lot of people know Don Pepin cigars. They make some really good cigars.
Oh,
My
yeah.
father's cigars and the Don Pepins are all together. These are made with a dark Cuban seed grown in Mexico. So I like that. We figured for Cinco de Mayo we needed to do as much Mexican as we could, even though we do know, yes, Cinco de Mayo is not actually a Mexican holiday.
Correct.
But it is a dark Cuban seed grown in Mexico. You're going to find this to be a nice, robust smoke. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. It's nice and smooth. What do you think so far, Dave?
It's great. I'm enjoying it very much. Thank you.
Okay. So it's going to be a rich to medium fill on it. It's going to be, you're going to find notes of earth, of a little bit of cocoa, espresso. It's going to be a smooth, I mean, just an absolutely smooth smoke. You want something nice and smooth, this is it right here. You're going to get that semi-sweet chocolate on the tips and everything.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that bittersweet chocolate.
Yeah.
I get the
I tasted
espresso.
that. That's great.
It has like a very heavy dark roast espresso type of
It seems like
feel
the flavor
to it.
of the tequila and the cigar match really well.
Absolutely, you know,
Yes.
and that's the thing with this tequila. We're getting some vanillas, a little bit of toffee flavors, and then also a little bit of the sharpness from the agave itself. And that's why I like the reposado like this, because if you go into an añejo, you're going to get more barrel aging, and you're going to get a little bit more of the barrel flavor. And they usually use bourbon barrels or whiskey barrels, primarily from Jim Beam, for a lot of the tequilas, because they can only use the barrel one time to make bourbon, and then they have to get rid of the barrel.
Does that
So-
aging process cause it to be more smooth, like you're talking
It
about?
smooths it out because you're getting you're getting evaporates, so a lot of the alcohol will evaporate out of it, and your concentration of flavors. And when it's in a barrel, it's basically expanding and contracting. The wood is, and it's sucking in the spirit and spitting it back out essentially through the pores of the wood.
Okay.
And a reposado is a good balance of some barrel aging. You get some of the vanilla flavors and things like that, but you still retain the fruit flavor of the agave plant, which is a little bit of that kind of sharp tannin and a little bit more of the vanilla flavors. And so you're getting that agave still coming through in a reposado, whereas an añejo you'll probably lose some of the agave and it'll be kind of more of a neutral spirit.
I gotta tell you,
It's pairing really well.
yes, it is. It's pairing really well. But I tell you what, man, this is really good tequila. I can drink this anytime.
I drink tequila whenever I feel like it. I'm not
You drink tequila like I drink whiskey and scotch.
Yeah, I love tequila. I love just the flavor, just the earthiness of it. You know, it's agricultural, and
I don't drink a whole lot, and I do like tequila, but I had that same memory, and it was a bad feeling. But this is really a good flavor, and I'm enjoying it. You might as well enjoy it if you're going to do
Absolutely.
it. If you're going to have it once a month or so, and just enjoy it.
Well, you know,
enjoy it with friends. And
yeah, and the thing is, when people have these bad experiences with tequila, it's usually associated with a cheap tequila, a well tequila. Their well brands are basically a tequila liqueur. And what that means is that a percentage of it is tequila, and the rest of it is a neutral grain spirit. So it's essentially like
didn't know that.
a blend of tequila with like an Everclear, essentially. And so when they put gold on there, then they're adding artificial sweeteners, caramel color, things like that. So you're getting all these extra sugars and residual things that are bound to make you sick if you drink too much of it. And that's really the bad experiences that people have are associated with those cheap tequilas. Right. So when you're buying a tequila, look for it that says 100% blue agave. Then you know it's a pure product. You know it's a regulated product. And the other aspect of it, when they are 100% blue agave, it has to be bottled in Mexico. You know, when you're doing these cheap tequilas, they'll send them over in bladders and in tankers, and then they'll bottle it here and blend it. And the regulation ends once it hits the border. And so as far as how Mexico is concerned with what the quality of the product is.
So this is barrel to bottle then?
It has to be bottled in Mexico and then
Awesome.
shipped in from Mexico, as opposed to something that you're just buying in a volume and then importing it to the U.S., where somebody's going to take that and then cut it with a neutral grain spirit and then add artificial colors to make it brown. And you know. And
So
you
that's
don't
really
know.
more the natural color from being.
Yeah, this is
barrel.
100% natural color
I'll
from
say
the
that's
barrel.
the smoothest tequila I've ever had, and this is great too, man.
Yeah, it's pairing extremely well.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of pepper, a little bit of spice off of the cigar, and the chocolate flavors go well with the little bit of white pepper you get in the tequila with the vanillas, and it's a
I
great
have to be
pairing.
honest, I didn't know there was so much to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Now I'm learning. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Oh, thanks
teaching
for-
me. I'm
for
kind of new
showing
to
up.
all of this.
Yeah.
so this is great.
You know that.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a few minutes and let you know how we're doing. All right, guys, welcome back. This is we actually didn't do a middle because these cigars are kind of short, and we did a lot of information in the beginning. I'm almost done with mine. Tomas is
About
getting close-
2/3, yeah.
getting close to his. David here's got almost his done. He's a little over halfway. So, let's see. Let's do our rating on these things, why don't we?
All right.
The burn on mine, I'm going to give it an 8 because I had several issues where it was coming down on one side and then it would fix itself and then it would come down again and fix itself. And now it's gone back to right. So I'm going to give it about an 8 on that.
I have absolutely no issues with the burn on mine, so I'm going with a solid 9.
Mine has a great burn. It's a smooth smoke, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Okay, 1 through 10.
I would say a 9.5, actually.
All right.
It's good flavor.
The aroma. Oh, man, it smells great in here. I'm going to give that a 10.
Just when you're toasting the foot on this thing, just to, like when you're burning it to light it, the aroma that comes off of that is just nice and toasty, like bread being toasted. I love that smell. Solid 9 on the aroma.
When I started smoking cigars, I would cough a lot, and I have not had that experience at all today. This is very nice.
Okay. So what would you give it, 1 through 10?
Well,
Aroma.
thank you for reminding me. I had 9.5 again.
Okay.
Good experience.
How about the draw?
Honestly, with box press, they're usually a little bit tight. And so this one, it's a little bit tight, but not excessively. It's drawing well. It's drawing average. So I would probably say 8.
Mine's drawing really easy. I'm not having to really work at it. So I'm getting a nice amount of smoke out of it. I would give this a solid 9 on mine.
I'd say a 9 as well. It's very good, and the draw is good. Getting a good amount of smoke and enjoying it.
Okay.
Thank you.
The looks. What do you think about the looks of yours, Dave?
It looks good. It's got a...
Have you ever tried the box press before?
Never had the box press before.
All right.
You had said it might be a little too tight, but it's not. It's got a great feeling. I'd say also a 9 for
All
sure.
right. For the looks of mine, I'm going to give it a 9 because, well,
What gives-
actually, you know what? I'm going to give it a little bit of an 8 actually because I like that oily sheen on it, and this one, it looks kind of dry. It really does. When you first grab it, you're like, man, that's going to be real dry and crack, but it hasn't. So I'm going to give it an 8.
Like, I'm with you. I like the wrapper to have a nice little oily sheen to it. To me, it's just appealing when you look at it on a shelf that way. It just seems to kind of get your mouth salivating a little bit. Whereas with the dry tobacco, it just feels like it's going to stick to your lips and kind of be dry in your mouth. But so appearance-wise, the box press is attractive. I like the size and the shape of it. So I'm going to go with a solid 8, 8.5.
All right. Taste.
It's a very tasty cigar. It's been consistent all the way through. It's had that kind of bittersweet chocolate, a little bit of white pepper, a little bit of spice in there, and it's pairing really well with the tequila. So I would definitely smoke it again. So I'm giving it a solid 9.5.
Yeah. I'm going to give this thing on the taste a 10 simply because the flavor stayed consistent. It was absolutely a wonderful flavor, nice and creamy. I didn't really get as much white pepper as you're saying. I got more pepper from the tequila than I did from this. So I honestly think that the pepper is coming from the tequila. So I'm going to give the taste a solid 10.
I'd say it's a sweet, but it's not too sweet. And I've had that experience in one of the first cigars I had. But it's sweet and also the peppery too. And I'd say 9.5.
All right.
Good stuff.
Overall, what would you say?
Solid 9.
Solid 9? Oh, that's not
Awesome.
a bad.
Very good.
I would easily give this thing a solid 9 myself. What about you, Dave?
Solid 9.5.
All right. From us here at Sip and a Smoke, cheers.
Cheers.